So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another section of Ask the Experts HR and Business sections. We normally do it on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So Wednesdays are basically for job seekers, those who are seeking to find job, and Saturdays are basically for those who want to start their business. So today's section we have in our mix. I mean, for every day we try to bring up some coach or an expert in the field to talk to us. And this afternoon we have someone in our midst. So please, as you normally do, just mute yourself. If you don't have any question at the moment, just mute yourself. We have a chat button as well. So you can just go to chat if you want to say anything, you can put in the chat button. And the call will last for an hour. So she's going to speak for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we take questions from you. So now that you are set, let's welcome Bella. Are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Bella,
yes. Yes, I'm here. Hello, Emmanuel. I'm ready. I'm here.
You are welcome to our section.
Thank you very much.
Yourself and take us through today's session. Sure.
Definitely perfect. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. So I'm excited to be here, especially when it comes to sharing knowledge with my fellow colleagues in terms of, I would say, youth. So my name is Ramat Ebella Whajah Ellis. I am a banker and I'm a branch manager for one of the banks. So I have a considerable level of experience in banking. And I have a passion in encouraging or mentoring or speaking to entrepreneurs to grow their business. You may ask, why is it necessary? It's necessary because we need to see business grow, okay? Most of the times we talk about poverty, economy is not moving on, but we are working. The economy can also move on when people are working, when people have something to do, and there is growth and profitability. So you see money, and the money can also further be invested or used for other things. So I'm excited once again to be here with you and to share with you benefits of banking your business process and how to manage debt. Hello, Emmanuel, can I move on?
Go ahead, yes, go ahead.
All right, sure. So, Emmanuel, are you sharing from your end or from my end, the slides? Hello, Emmanuel. Can you go to the next slide? Am I sharing or you are?
You are the one sharing.
All right, okay, sure, Emmanuel. All right, so once again, we are doing benefits of banking your business process and how to manage debt, right? So one may ask, what is banking or what is a bank? So I will say that.
Hold on, I will share I'll share it on.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm sharing.
Okay.
So can you see now?
Yes, I can see now. All right. So one will ask, what is the bank or what is banking industry? So I said that banking is an industry that handles cash, credit, and other financial transactions. Also, you can refer to a bank as a financial institution licensed to receive deposits and make loans. All right. So banks play an important role in an economy for offering services for people wishing to save and offering finances to business who wish to invest or expand. Banking your business process is one of the ways to manage your business funds. You can also be able to deposit and withdraw to make payments where necessary. The main purpose of business accounts is for you to have a separate account that is intended purely for business transactions and related expenses. In so doing, you are building a relationship where someone gets to know you and make a case for you when you are in need. So before I go on to the next slide, to quickly add a little explanation to what I've said, most of the times you have people coming to you and they will say that I need this, can you help me with this? And probably you might not have cited the person at all, you don't know the person at all. If I have to walk to you today and ask for support, I'm sure the first thing that will come in mind is, who is this? Who are you? If I give you, will you be able to give me back or pay me back my money? So that is why I mentioned building a relationship. So you are doing a business. A time might come that you might need extra funds to pump into the business and grow it. Or you might need money to buy more goods so you can sell and make enough sales or profit. But you cannot walk to anybody that doesn't know you. So people may say, when you want to, funds for starting up a business, blah, blah, you have family and friends, you have banks. So I'm stressing on the bank portion. So if you are doing business, one way to manage your funds is to establish a banking relationship. Now, when you have a bank account, you need to build relationship. You have to let someone know you. So you can't go, even if you don't see people, it is how well you run the account. So if anything, I'm sure the staffs will go into their system and check how the inflows and outflows go. That is the deposits you make and the withdrawals you make. Then they will be able to, form a perception or make a case or make an idea to support you. Sure. So your account or business relationship helps bank to better understand your business, that is your cash flow, expenses, and gives bank a better idea of who or your businesses. In so doing, anytime you want support, they can analyze and help you with what you need. What you will need so that you can effect payment of the loan as agreed in terms and conditions. Banking your business process is not only loans or advances or support, but to enable you to attract investors as well. A well-structured business makes it easy for investors or financiers to understand your business or financial health and offer support. So basically, this slide is what I have explained previously. Okay, so when you bank your business process, it will help the bank to better understand what you do, and it will help them know the kind of support they can offer to you. I mentioned earlier, you cannot just walk into anybody at all and ask for help. Obviously, it has to be somebody you know. If not, if you have any intentions to ask support from someone you don't know, you will have to start from a relationship, okay? Mind you, people always talk about borrowing. People always talk about wanting money to grow their business, but it is not just getting the money. Even if it is given to you free, I would say that work with it in such a way that even if the person will not pick the money back, get that money and put it aside and know that whatever you use the money for was helpful. Next slide, Kingsley. So So now let's look at the benefits. Why am I saying that you should bank your business process? Why should you send funds you've received from your business to the bank? One, your business transactions are kept separate and allow you to keep your business accounting records organized. Two, it will help you process salary payments, which will assist workers to also access funding. So when I talk about economic growth, this particular point also comes in. So when you have a business, it is not just all about you. Know that even if you have one or two workers, there are people working for you. What are the benefits you have for them? If the person is working in a company, there could be provident fund, okay? There could be other benefits when the person is resigning for the job, but someone is working for you. What are the future benefits for that worker? So if you are managing your funds properly, and one of the ways to manage your funds properly when you're having a business is to bank it, you'll be able to make salary payments for your staff. Note, when people are receiving or when someone receives salary through a bank, there is a high possibility that the person can also access loans or funds. So when you manage your funds properly, you are also helping someone to be able to access money from somewhere and improve upon his or her life. Three, It will also enable the business owner access loans or funding, as I've told you. So you have a relationship with a bank, right? You sell, you deposit. When you need money, you go for it. Structures are in place. So when you have to walk up to the bank for support, they go back to your records and know that, yeah, truly, this man or this lady is into this business. We can see the evidences in the account, so we'll be able to help you with the facility. Okay. The next benefit is to keep your personal and business finances separate, and it makes it easier. If you are not banking your business process, the possibility of you eating into your business profit money is high. So let's say you sell today, you've made sales like 400 or 500 dollars, and someone comes in to kind of request or borrow from you, or you've seen something you want to buy, because the money is with you, it makes it easier for you to tap into that money. So now the sales of 400 you have made might reduce to 300 or 200. In so doing, if you went for goods worth, let's say 600, if you don't take time, the next time you are going to buy goods, you will not be able to buy goods worth 600 or 400 or 500 because you have tapped into the business process. So it's better to separate your business finances from your personal funds. The fifth point or the fifth benefit is to assist in proper or accurate record keeping. Record keeping is important. I always tell people that when you are banking or having a banking account or business, is a relationship, okay? So where are the records? So even if you don't have internal books or records for what you do or your business activity, at least if you fall on your bank statement, you'll be able to follow or predict what you have done monthly, because the bank statement can be generated for you and it will show evidences of what you have done every month, okay? So in terms of record keeping, it can also assist you there. Let's continue with the benefits again. The sixth point of benefit is to take the business serious for growth and profitability. So if you have a business account for your business proceeds, I mean, obviously you realize that right from the go, there is a little bit of discipline. It is not closer to you whereby you can tap in the money anytime you want. In that case, you see structure. So my funds goes to the banks. I pay my staff through the banks. Then it regulates your expenses, is in check. So obviously it's going to affect your business growth and profitability from there. The seventh benefit point is to separate your business finances from your personal finance, as I've mentioned. So you've made the sales. Probably if you have any immediate expenses you need to do, you can quickly take it aside. And what you don't need at that time can be taken to the bank for safekeeping or keeping. Then the eighth point of benefits is to help enroll on innovative ways of accepting and making payment. So I say that especially in this COVID times, when most people are using digital products and electronic banking products, it will be easier for you to enroll in. So if you have this business account or you have an account for your business and you cannot go to the bank, if probably you've done mobile money, you've put it on your mobile money, you can move it from your mobile money to your bank account. Or equally, if you want to pay someone, now there are platforms whereby you can do a bank-to-bank transfer. The fifth point of benefit is that in case you are keeping one account for business purposes, especially for sole proprietor, as an individual trading as himself, be sure to correctly label business expenses from personal expenses. What I mean by this point is that somebody will tell you, I've not registered my business. Does it mean that I cannot bank my business proceeds or funds? No. Okay. Sole proprietorship is considered as you, the same person or the individual trading. So even if you've not registered your business, you can still have an account for your business by opening it in your personal name, okay, but it's being used for business purposes, okay? So it's not necessarily that, okay, I need to get my business registered. Yes, after some time or after years of experience, it will be appropriate to get it registered. But if you are now beginning, you can have the account in your personal name and still channel your business funds or proceeds in there. All right, Kingsley. So basically, these are some of the benefits and the importance why you should bank your business process. Kingsley, am I going to pick any questions, or I can continue to managing your debt?
Yes, finish, then we take questions. Yeah.
Okay, sure. That's fine. All right. So I think I'm done with why you need to manage your business process. So I mentioned it clearly. At least there are check and balances. You separate personal money from business money. It can help you access funds or loans or advances to support your business. And it can also help you attract investors as well, because you have a well-structured businesses and evidences to prove your cash inflow and your cash outflow. So let's quickly look at how you can manage your debt. So first of all, you need to check your financial position. How do you check your financial position? It's basically the sales you make, taking out the expenses or whatever you need to pay or expenses you've made, and what is left. What is left? Are you making profit or a loss? If you are making profit, is the money left enough to meet your debt obligation? So let's say you sold goods for 1,000 cedis, you took away expenses which were worth 500, you have 500 left. So if you have any commitment anywhere, whether you owe your suppliers, whether you've taken money from a family member, or whether you've borrowed from a bank, and let's say you are making a repayment of 400 cedis, you have 500 left. Well, that money left be able to pay your loans. So you need to check your financial position. After checking your financial position, you need to list the debt you have. Okay, so you know where payments are going to, and you don't leave anyone out for surprises. After listing your debt, you need to know your expenses, okay? Because when you know your expenses, that is when you will know the profit or income that you have left. You should also be able to save excesses from cost or expense reduction. I mentioned that, especially let's say within the COVID time, we saw some governments relieve in, let's say, water bill, electricity bill. So within a 3-month period, government gave, if let's say you pay electricity 100 cedis, it's likely you are going to pay electricity 50 cedis. The fact that, let's say, bills on certain places or parameters has decreased doesn't mean that the money has to be spent. No, you need to save that money and know what you can use it for. Probably if you can buy more goods, or if you can add it to the money that you use for payments of your debt, okay? You need to also seek repayment extensions from suppliers. So let's say you buy from people, or the people that supply you goods give you payment terms, probably 1 week credit, 2 week credit. If you check all this, you're able to check your financial position, check your expenses, check your debt. You will know whether you'll be able to meet your payments to your suppliers. If you check them and you cannot meet them, it is better to seek or talk with them if they could extend your repayment time, so it doesn't look like you are defaulted, okay? It is also appropriate to manage your inventory. If you don't manage your inventory, you are going to have a lot of stocks or goods that you don't need. So in managing your inventory, it is appropriate for you to know what goods move quickly for you. Probably you are a trader, you sell a variety of things. What are the things that moves quickly? So you can put a consideration or more concentration on those areas. So if an item A moves, it is better to get more of those items because it's going to sell. Don't go and get an item C that is not moving whilst A is moving. If you push your money in there, it means you are going to lock funds. So sales are not going to be good and you will not be able to meet your debt. It is also better for you to closely monitor relief measures announced by the government, your banks or financial institutions, okay? Like recently we have the CAP, that is the COVID alleviation fund by the government, that is going to be disbursed by the National Board for Small Scale Businesses. So you need to closely monitor such relief measures. So if your business qualifies or falls in, you'll be able to go and also apply for such funds, okay? With what we have, the relief measures the government has announced, at least you have 1 year moratorium, that is grace period, okay, for you to put your business in place, and you can start repaying after the 12 months. It is very good because most finances or loans that you go for will require you to pay immediately or 1 month after you have accessed the funds, right? So it is good for you to measure, closely monitor relief measures, so you could also subscribe to help your business grow. You also have to look to your banks for assistance. So in case the type of debt you have is a bank borrowing, because there are various debts, you could borrow from a friend, a relative. You could also take goods on credit, it is debt. You could also borrow from a bank. So if it is a bank, you quickly go to the bank for assistance. It's better to discuss than to keep it, because if you don't discuss your issue, obviously the bank will see it as a bad loan or a loan that will go by, and it won't help your credit records. I mean, in building a good credit records, you need to be credit worthy. So if you see the highlights are not going well, you quickly go to your bank and seek for assistance. Okay, is it that they give you a grace period? Is it that they extend repayment? Is it that they restructure so you pay a lesser amount of what you owe them? Okay, so it's better to apply that as well. Then you also look at identifying alternative revenue streams. Okay, so most businesses or certain businesses were affected, let's say, by the COVID. So if you are into such businesses that were affected, whereby your customers are not coming to you often now, then you have to also look at other alternative businesses. Now, we see some businesses even going into the production of them face masks and hand sanitizers because they are high in demand. So you look at the period or the time, look for goods that are high in demand. If the demand of what you sell in is being affected, obviously you can go into such areas to increase your revenue. You also need to protect yourself from scams, okay? Around times like this, a lot of people know that people are anxious for money. So don't receive a message, quickly call this number and access this. You have to be careful. So any message you receive, whether it's from a bank, anywhere, please make sure you double cross-check to ensure that it is coming from the appropriate source before you get yourself there. Then the very last point in managing your debt is seeking advice. And I like it so much, okay? I mean, whatever you are not too clear of or you don't know, it is better to consult someone that knows. Especially around this COVID time, we realize that a lot, because of the challenges it came with, a lot of people are offering certain services and products for free. Even financial advisors, coaches, mentors. So if you're not too clear, maybe you don't know how to structure, you don't know what to do to keep you on track, it is better to go to the expert to seek the right advice to help you in dealing with the situation at hand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I mean, if taking less than 20 minutes to take us through the section, and I think the session with that time, but that's a good one. I have some few questions before I allow the audience to also ask questions.
All right, Leslie.
There's always been concern about small business separating yourself from your finances. Yes. I mean, the small business, I'm the owner, I'm the CEO of my company, I manage my finances. It's hard for me to separate myself from my money. So I really want to, in this section, I try to get a practical way. Yes. How can I like my business? I mean, I'm the only person managing it. How can I separate myself
from the business? Yes. So let's say, so that's why I advise that, I mean, you first of all, you get your business registered. Some people might say, oh, it's a startup, I don't have money, startup cost is too high. Okay, so if you can't even get the business properly registered now, as I said, I mean, you yourself being the CEO, then I'm getting the idea that it looks likely like a sole proprietor. So for a sole proprietor, it's more like you trading as yourself. So you can so and so enterprise, trading at Kwesi Mensah Enterprise, trading as Kwesi Mensah, okay? So you can, one of the ways to put that structure in place to separate yourself for your business is to have an account. is to have a business account. So if the business is not registered, whereby it can be opened in the name, you can open a personal account, okay? So, Emmanuel, the discipline starts from there. Anything you sell, go bank it. Because now we have a lot of branches for banks. So there is definitely a bank that has a branch closer to where you live. Everything comes with discipline. Without discipline, there is no growth, okay? Even if you cannot do it daily, you can pile up like 2 days, 3 days, and it is there. Because easily when it is closer to you, let's say you are selling provisions or Milo, if the items are not finished for you to restock, there is a high probability that you might see something online, or someone will come and pass with something that you'll be interested to buy. And because the money is readily available for you, you can quickly go and tap into it and buy the stuff. You are getting what I'm saying? So it's advisable to get accounts, even whether in your personal name or in your registered business. Then you make deposit to such teams. One of the disciplines are that, you see, if you even need to buy, because you are dealing with suppliers or people that supply you, obviously after some time, they will also build trust for you. So even if you cannot go to withdraw your money, when you are buying or restocking, you can pay with check. You can give them a check and they will also deposit in their bank and they can get the money value for the items you have picked, right? So that is why it's necessary to put in that discipline. Emmanuel, am I okay? Did I meet your expectation?
I mean, there's other follow-up question in terms of, as a small business, maybe at the end of the day, you make sales of 50 cities, and you want to 50 cities. You know, the challenge, I don't know, it was just recently that mobile money has allowed you to move money from your wallet to a bank. Even with that, there's a lot of limitations in terms of, I mean, it doesn't work most of the times. So from the bank, the way the banks can enable a system or something where they can get the banks closer to businesses, so that if at the end of the day, if I have 50 cities, I can easily bank it before going home.
Yes, sure. So Kingsley, so I mentioned that now branches are expanded. So you definitely, obviously, I'm sure there will be a bank branch closer to you. Okay, if not too close. Also, because the decision for you to bank with a particular bank relies on you, and you know why you have chosen that particular bank. So one of the things I know that some of the banks does is also cash collections. So if we don't know, any bank you walk to, you can find out from them, this is the business I do, right? I want all my proceeds to be channeled through you. Do you do cash collections? Do you have people some banks have mobile bankers, it means people that go around to pay cash. Most at times, there are no charges, most at times, okay? So you can make that inquiries with the bank you want to deal with. And if they are such products, you can enroll on, okay? So either you get one very close to you, or if not too close, you can find out from them if they have mobile banking. So when they are going around, at least they can pass by and pick the funds from you.
I think my question go with what Kingsley, so you can check the chat button. Kingsley has asked a question. Kingsford asked a question. He said, we all know what is happening in our banking sector, where banks are collapsing. So what are the instruments or key tools that a small business need to consider when banking with a bank?
Yes, so, you know, when I started the slide, I mentioned something like a bank is a financial institution licensed. So I think recently we all saw some of the regulations by a regulator that is BOG. So obviously you need to make sure that whoever you're going to deal with is a licensed bank, okay? Now we've had some restructures in the banking system. So almost all the banks that survived are in good standing. So you are safe. That I can assure.
Good standing for now, right? Good standing for now.
So sure, Leslie. Right? Yes, sure, Leslie. Sure, Leslie. Because with the current restructure, I mean, all the banks have met the minimum requirements required by our regulator. So all the banks are in good standing. Okay. So in terms of safety of your funds, I can assure.
I think
Okay.
this question is a bit of concern for a lot of small businesses because
Yes.
looking at those times, small businesses were crying that they saved their money at the bank, and all this issue came up and they couldn't get their money back to run their businesses. Many
Yes.
businesses even during that time, all in the name of banks getting
Yes.
so it's a big issue. I mean, so for me, what maybe you want to know is there a criteria that you should look at as a small bank, as a small business? Is there a criteria that you should look at for before you
Sure.
choose it?
Sure. So I think that yes, I think that now with with the how the rate of growth of social media, okay, now we have people putting their reviews out there, okay. So I'm sure that as a small business, most of the selection of who you want to deal with will come from you because you need to make study, you need to research. I mean, on the internet, anywhere through social media. I mean, which places or which bank is most talked about, which banks have most good reviews. I mean, definitely a friend or a colleague business person will recommend to you. You can also speak to your suppliers. And normally when you also deal with the people your suppliers bank with, it makes it easier, okay? So if you are paying them, the supplier will not doubt that you are taking the goods. Will it take this number of days for me to have my money? So if probably you are, banking with the banks your supplier is using, whatever you give him is going to materialize that day, okay? So whether you have it or not. So I think that social media is helping reviews, word of mouth, recommendation will help a small business know which particular institution to go in and work with or deal with.
I think for this kind of topic, we're not able to exhaust everything. I mean,
Yes,
it's a bit
sure.
when it comes to
Sorry, Emmanuel, not to cut you off. I think it's a very interesting area. It's a good area, and I normally encourage entrepreneurs there. Okay, when you are doing business, I tell people there are many people you meet. Oh, me, I don't like support. Me, I don't like money. I don't like loans. You don't know what might happen. Sometimes you could be there as a business owner, and probably the suppliers or manufacturers are doing sales. Okay, so it means that there is price reduction. So quickly, when you go in to buy, you are going to have those goods as a reduced price. So if you, let's say, buy one item for 10 cedis and they are doing sales and it's going to go for 500, then it means that you're going to double your profit. So this time you are buying 5 cedis, going to sell at 15 cedis. Emmanuel, am I okay? So you don't know where, yes, you don't know where you might need money. So discipline, structure, financial management is key. I'm just speaking about one aspect of financial management. Records keeping are there. And I'm saying that even if you are not keeping records and you are banking, when you go for your statement, you are going to see evidences of what you do. Okay? Everything starts small. Don't think about the money. Obviously, you are going to start small and you grow. Because if you are buying goods worth 200 today, you should see yourself in the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, buying goods worth 400. So you are going to see increases. The next time you are buying goods worth 5,000, the next time you are buying goods worth 10,000. But it all comes with the discipline. Discipline on how to manage your business, discipline on how to manage your funds. And one of the ways is to obviously not sleep on your money or keep your money with you, but obviously bank, okay? We know there are hitches, it might not be perfect, but all things being equal, there is a benefit there.
I get it. For you as a branch manager, what have you been doing to support? In terms of helping businesses around your community to be able to save. What have you been doing?
So personally, what I've been doing, it's not easy, but I can say that I have a social media presence. I share tips. Okay, now there is WhatsApp, you have contacts, people contact you, I meet people, I buy from people, I meet people in various ways, we exchange contacts. So if you are in my contact, let's say you might see some of the tips or things I post on my platform, as well as some of the tips I share on my social media platform, right? So these are some of the ways. And if there are ways that people come to me, okay, to personally seek for advice, I'm obviously open. If you also choose where I work, I mean, I'm available for you within working hours to attend to you anytime and anything you want clarifications on.
Okay. Okay.
So I have a social media platform. So Instagram, WhatsApp, I share financial tips. People contact me for advices. And obviously where I work to, I'm open to the clients and customers I serve.
Okay. I mean,
sorry, Emmanuel. So as you have contacted me now, I mean, obviously with this network, and networking is good. I didn't want to go into, but as a business owner, you also need to look into networking. So obviously people who have enrolled on the platform now, we become like family. So right at the word go from here, you can contact me anytime. So you benefit, I benefit. So if you say that you don't know where to go to, which bank to deal with, then I'll tell you, come to my bank. So if you also need advice, you can follow me and I'll help you with it.
I know this page is not for advertisement, but that's a good one. Let's move straight to your second topic. I mean, managing debt. I mean, of course, it goes hand in hand. As you as banking, you also think of how to manage your debt. And I think there's a question from Auntie Comfort. I think Comfort's on the line. She want to Comfort. I think you raise up your hand. Can you ask a question? Then I can come in. Let me see if I can unmute you now. Okay, so I've unmute all of you. So, Comfort, I think I ask a question. Mrs. Odru.
Sorry. Thank you very much. I think I wrote it in the chat box, please.
Yes, I've seen it. I thought maybe you want to ask another question.
Okay, in fact, accidentally I pressed on that, so sorry.
So you can ask the question now that you have the mic.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. And I'm grateful to the lady facilitator. I think she said it all. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So my question is that you tell a bank why you are unable to pay back their loan because of a tangible reason.
Yes.
Yet they chase you up for repayment, refusing to understand your plight. So what do I do in such a circumstance, please?
Sure. So, Comfort, that's a perfect one. I can understand you. You know, I know that most of the time, you know, when you want to discuss about banking stuff, people will be like, they say what they don't do. What you're saying is true, right? I will say that it's about time we are realistic, okay? We need to have structured finance. We need to be available. We need to. Comfort, so that is what we need to do. So I would advise that you go to them, you keep on insisting, you write to whoever is concerned of your plea. And I believe that we need to be realistic because there is a challenge. Okay, so whoever took you to the process of granting you the facility, the credit officer, the relationship person needs to follow up the process. Okay, so at this time, as I mentioned, either there is a restructure or there is a grace period for things to be put in place. Because genuinely, I share your concern. If we don't do that, I mean, the default keeps on going. So where is the benefit? So it's better we understand the customer, then we don't get the situation worse, okay? Comfort, so our advisor, keep on pushing, right? But the other stuff, I will talk to you back door, okay? Because you have the right to voice out, and it is not wrong, something has gone off. But the parties involved will need to sit down again, look at the issue so we know how best to help you. And it's the reality you've said, and we need to do something about it.
Thank you very much.
Your Comfort. Thank you too.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I mean, and my concern has been, so for the point that you've listed on the slide, is it in order of preference, or I mean, so I was thinking that managing, when we look at your point, identifying alternative revenue stream should have been number one when you're managing your.
Sure. Okay, it's not really in order of preference, right? Okay. But before you even identify the alternative revenue stream, Emmanuel, sorry, You know, you need to put all those other things in check because you need to know, are you really on the red light? Do you really need to speak to your suppliers or bankers? Because whatever the borrowing might be, it was given to you based on your current business. It's not based on your new alternative. The new alternative is just a cushion to support or help. Yeah, sure, Emmanuel.
Is there any question on the platform? If you have any question, you can speak. Whilst we wait for a question to come, I mean, so when you look at the list that you gave it to us, know your expenses. I mean, as I'm a small business, and I mean, if I list my debts, I know my debts, of course, but how do I check, I'm able to determine my financial position as a small business?
Okay, yes, as a small business. So as a small business, basically and roughly what I'll tell you is, let's say your sales, okay? So let me pick a range. We need to work with the period to make it easier. So let me pick for a month. So I'm looking at my financial position for, let's say May, we are in June. So May, you put all your sales together. So as I'm saying, if you are banking, when you go for your statement, you will know the turnover, you will know the total deposit, which is assuming equal to the sales you have made, right? If not, and you have a book or any records or wherever you put your sales. So let's say in May, 1st May, you made a sales of 50, 5th May, you made a sales of 60. So a rough estimate of that, when you add, how much do you get? Let's say you get 1,000. And also in that month, what were some of the things you bought? Okay, so what were the expenses? Did you pay salary? Did you pay monthly rent? Okay, is there ECG? Right? Then you take it out, and the cost of sales. I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying. So you went, yes, so in a month, you went for goods, let's say 500 cedis, but you realize that when you sold the goods, you had 1,000. So it means that the sales minus the cost of what you bought it, 500 cedis, you'll be left with 500. Now the 500, you take out petty expenses. Did you pay, let's say, salary 100 cedis? Did you pay prepaid 50 cedis? I'm getting 150. So let's say if these two things are your major expense, it's left with 350 cedis. So that is what you have left. So the 350 cedis, did you make any borrowing? And what was the agreement? Will I pay you 200 cedis every month? So if you take that 200 out, you are left with 150. So you can say that is your profit. I mean, so basically, this is how you can know your financial position as a small business. So your sales less your expenses, your cost of sales, and some administrative expenses.
I get it.
All right.
Any question on the page before we wrap up for the section? Someone, are you there? Hello, someone. Someone, you're on mute. Do you want to ask a question? Oh, Ms. do you want to ask a question? Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
No, this is not a question. It's just something to praise the organizers of this all-important session. Okay. I'm so happy, and whatever you are doing is very good. But I'm wondering why the participants aren't many. Why is there a clause debarring participation? Or we should all help to bring up some more participants, because we all need this. Every entrepreneur needs this session.
Yeah, I think it's clear. We always share the link for others to join, but this time we try to make it a closely because of cyber securities and issues of Zoom bombing. But one thing we always do is that we try to record a section so at least we can share after the call, because many times people don't even have time. So maybe the time you have a session, someone is busy doing something else and you want to join. So we try to record a section, make sure that we share after the call for others to listen. So maybe when we share a link, you can share with your community or your friends or anyone around to take part. Yes, someone, are you on the line? You're welcome. Someone, are you there? Okay, so before you, Bella, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Emmanuel. I'm available.
Good. I like the point about managing your inventory and also protecting yourself from scams. And I think it's many times when you're in crisis or you have a debt on your head, you're always looking for an avenue to turn around your money. I mean, quick money, quick cash. So if you hear that someone can turn over your money from 10 cities to 1,000 cities, you always want to give it a try. So I think it's very, very important. I mean, I've never thought about it. And when I saw it, it really makes sense to me that doing this, that's why you have to protect yourself from a lot of scams.
Sure.
But another thing that you said about is managing your inventory. Managing your inventory. I mean, as a small business, you need the inventory to make more sales to be able to pay your debt. So when you talk of managing your inventory, how practical it is?
Yeah, so the easier way to manage your inventory is you need to have a rough overview, okay? You need to have a rough overview of your stock or what you deal in. So it's much easier, let's say, if you are dealing in a particular good, right? Goods. So let's say if you know that you started the month or year with 1,000 pieces of an item, 100 pieces of an item, at the end of the month,
We can't hear you. You're mute. I think you're Bella. I think you're mute. So please check your mic.
Hello, Emmanuel. Are you hearing? Yes. So, Emmanuel, I was saying that, you see, let's say, you started the month with a quantity of items, let's say 1,000, 100 quantity. Now, I'm moving into the next month. How much or how many quantity do I have? Obviously, you are buying because you know the goods have reduced. Now, when you are topping up, you know that there are some items that are still there. They are never moving, okay? So after some time, it's more like obsolete. You can't be stocking that particular item. So you deal with provisions, okay? So in March, you were buying items. You bought milk, Milo, Nido, but there is conflicts. The next month you are buying, you didn't buy conflicts. The next month you are buying, you didn't buy conflicts. Then you should know that conflicts is not moving. So you don't add on. You find ways and means to sell it. Because if you go and invest there or if you add more conflicts, they are not moving. So your money is locked up there. So you need to channel it to the goods that are moving. Okay. So it's more like you need to also add analyzing or analysis of your goods to part of your business management.
I think that makes sense. So now I've understood about, managing your inventory.
Sure.
So now that we want to wrap up, I've always said that internet in Ghana is very expensive. So we try to do everything within an hour so we don't waste much time. Do you have any final things for small businesses, those who want to start their business and those who are running their business, the final words, and we wrap up for this?
Sure, obviously. Yeah. Thank you, Emmanuel. So I would like to advise entrepreneurs or small business owners that to make it big, to grow big, to also be known as a big brand is not easy, but all starts with discipline. So the structures are there, right? So we talk about small management, we talk about financial management, business management. You enrolling, people enrolling, so you learn 1 or 2 tips. Some of the tips look difficult, but you need to psych your mind and go by it. And if you go by it, it's really going to help you. As I said, if you are doing the business, you might definitely start with a certain capital. But after some time, the capital will grow. You might come across certain opportunities. You might come across reduced sales. You want to buy on sales so that your profit will be more. Who do you turn to when you need help? Am I turning to a friend? Am I turning to a family member? Is it that I will say that I work with the banks so they need to support me? Anybody willing to support you is somebody you know, you have businesses with. Nobody helps a stranger unless for obvious reasons you start saying your story. And what is your story? If you're a business person, your story is your records. So, hello, this is my records. This is the sales I do. this is the expenses, this is the profit I'm making. So at that time, when the person picks the records, you will say that, yes, obviously you are in sales and I'll be able to help you, okay? So it's important to put certain business structures in place. Now, there are other benefits. If you are doing well, you are happy. And one way or the other, it affects the economic growth. One of the ways is that you employ. And I tell small businesses, don't do business, have one employee. 2-3 years, you are still having one employee. You are not growing. The business should grow in such a way that in 2, 3, 5 years, you are having 10, 5, and people are being employed. So unemployment is reduced in there. So I'm sure you know how the impact small businesses have on the economy. As I mentioned, if the structures are there, and one of the ways of managing your funds is to bank your process. I mean, when your money is in there, you can encourage your workers to open an account. Their salaries are structured, are passed through the bank. And if they also need help and you have proper management in place, why not? Obviously, the bank can help you. So you have helped yourself. You have also helped someone else, okay? So the picture looks big, but gradually we get there. Another thing is networking. I talked briefly on networking, and I always say networking is a bigger picture on its own. I mean, you cannot do it alone. You need to talk to people. You need to be innovative. You need to educate yourself as a small business. So enrolling into seminars, educational platforms like this is helpful. Some people, when they see it, they ignore, oh, what is this? What is that? But obviously, you are going to pick a point or two in there, which will help you. Aside that, you become family and friends with people who are on the platform, okay? So now I have gotten to know Comfort. I've gotten to know other people on the platform. I'm going to contact Emmanuel immediately after here and know what you deal in. So if Comfort sells clothes, and I need clothes, I mean, through this platform, I have gotten to know somebody that deals in clothes, okay? If you also need business advisory, financial advisory, you know that, oh, Emmanuel brought somebody in who is an expert in that field and can help me, okay? So this is what I'll leave you with. And obviously, if we practice, we will definitely get there. And now, my lines are always available. You can reach me for any support you want. Thank you.
Bella, thank you so much. Before you leave, can you write your email and your phone number on the chat so that those on the call can pick it right away? And thank you so much for joining this afternoon. And so just write at the chat. Yes, just write at the chat.
Yes, the chat. Okay, sure, Emmanuel.
Now that you want to go, kindly on your microphones and let's say before all of us, we leave. So please on your microphones and we all say bye-bye. We want to hear everyone's voice before we sign out. So
bye-bye.
Are you done?
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
We are waiting for her number.
Yes,
Enjoy
the
rest of
email.
your day.
Yes, and I'm putting my number there.
Okay, so please, before I say,
yeah, sure. So please, when you call me, kindly let me know that you were on Africa Skills Hub, right? Okay.
Yes.
So kindly use Leslie as reference so I'll know, yeah, the source, right?
That's okay. Thank you so much for having time for us this afternoon, and we'll talk again right after the call. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you too. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.